Welcome to another edition of Anthony T's Movie Reviews. I'm Anthony T. This is an exclusive feature on the Film Arcade Media YouTube channel. As I'm trying to get more movie reviews out, just haven't had the time. But I just don't want to have it all be podcasts of Anthony T's Horror and Wrestling show. Even though I have episode 120 out right now. That's probably the main reason why I delayed this review upcoming. Plus the fact that when I did this review yesterday, it went on way too long. And I tried to keep videos to around 10 minutes or so. So with that, let's talk Terrifier 3, everyone. Now this is an anticipated horror film that I've been looking forward to. Now, first, I'm shocked that this film hit #1 at the box office here in the United States. Because looking at the schedule back in, say, August, September, I did not have that on my horror bingo card. And I'll talk more about that aspect on episode 121 of the podcast, which I'm working on. But back to the review. This is the first Terrifier film that I've seen in theaters. So I've decided to see this film in theaters, even though a lot of people walked out, people were throwing up, feeling ill. But still, I decided to take that chance. Because, well, I am a horror fan. And when I watch horror films, you expect a lot of blood. And basically, the last extreme horror film I watched was Stream a couple of months ago, which was done by the people who bring you Terrifier 3, which is on VOD. Cheap plug for that film, because definitely that's a really good film. And everything went alright. Even for a late night film at 7 o'clock in the evening, it went alright. I had no problems afterwards. I even did a quick review on the YouTube channel for that film. So, I decided to watch Terrifier 3 in theaters and not wait for it to come to Screenbox, because it'll probably be there by the end of the year. And my thoughts on it is, I really like this film a lot. I think this is the best Terrifier film out of the franchises. 3 films. This really pushes the envelope. In fact, I would have to say this might be the most ballsy Christmas horror film since Silent Night, Deadly Night, where that film drew a lot of controversy. I can see the controversy for this film, seriously. Yes, the first 10 minutes is part of it. But there's also another scene in this film where I thought, oh my God, did they really do that? Did they really go to that line? And I felt really indifferent about that scene, which I'm not going to explain. You have to watch this movie for yourself. And it's not the first 10 minutes of this film. I can give you that. Or the hospital scene. So basically, you have to watch the movie to find out what scene I'm talking about. Because the idea is to get you to see this film. And it really felt disturbing to me. Not in like a horror way, more like a movie going way. Because I sat through Civil War this year, and that was a very disturbing movie for most of it. But anyway, with that gripe aside, I thought this was a very good film. I thought Damien Leone really does a great job with the way he moves the action along. I know how this film may get off linear at times with the timeline and everything with the action in this film. But this is a Terrifier film. And I could probably figure out the pieces easy in this film. So, it's not like a David Lynch film where I can't figure out which is which, where this moment goes and that moment goes. And I'm mostly talking about the opening scene of this film. But I have an idea where it goes, but I'm not going to tell you because you have to see the film. Anyway, Leone really does a great job with his direction. He makes sure the action is very gory, intense, balls to the wall. He also really does a great job with the way he directs his performances in this film. As David Howard Thornton was very good in this again. But I think the real star of this film is Laura Rivera as Sienna. As I really think she really brought her character to another level with the way she performed her character in this film. As her character is basically going through the traumatic events of the last film. And this is like a 5-year time jump here. This isn't like 1 year time jump or 2 year time jump. This is a 5-year time jump. So, I like the fact that this film does a very good job focusing on that aspect, as it really makes this very interesting and makes the whole Sienna character very interesting as well. It really is one of the best things about this film. Seriously. You have to have a good final girl. And I think Leone is really positioning the Sienna character as probably one of the greats. Seriously. Amazing how the character changed from Terrifier 2 to Terrifier 3 is leaps and bounds. And it really helped this film a lot. Because you got a lot of stuff going in non-linear form. With this going there, that's going there. But the whole Sienna story is really what drives this film. Yes, there's tons of gore, but it's something that really interests me through the entire runtime. Writer-director Damien Leone does a very good job with the way he handles the screenplay here, as it's intense, it's shocking, it almost crosses the line like I mentioned earlier. He really, truly set out to make a very gory film, and he did that while shocking the hell out of you. It did me, that's for sure, because there was that one scene where it really made me question, did he go over the line? But I think the most underrated thing about the screenplay was the whole post-traumatic stress disorder that Sienna's going through, as I think that was brilliantly crafted in this film, as it really does a really good job focusing on her relationships with her aunt and uncle and her brother. You gotta remember, this film takes place 5 years after the second film. So, basically, to do a storyline like that for 5 years and have it jump that way, it's just very good on Leone's part. I wish it was more linear, but I'm not going to complain. In fact, the only minor gripe I have with this film was the fact that the Ice Nine Kills song was not in the end credits in the film. It sure is in one of the scenes in the film, but I really wanted that a work of art to be the final song of Terrifier 3. Seriously. It kind of warranted it. But anyway. Well, I do have theories where Terrifier 4 is going. I may or may not do a video on that. I'll think about it. But anyway, I'm going to quickly wrap up this review as we're going way too long. Terrifier 3 is very good. It is one of the best horror films of the year. I would probably put it maybe top 5, top 3. In the same vein as films like Late Night with the Devil, Immaculate, Maxine. As it's just over-the-top insanity with the violence. It has a very good subplot, which is very underrated. And it has great performances from David Howard Thornton and Laura Rivera. And, of course, very good direction from Damien Leone. Terrifier 3 gets 5 stars.